The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
All right, Kyle, it's official. Elliot Friedman, he hates the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh my God, we've been saying this for months and months and months, bro. Come on. We got a hockey game to watch. And what are we going to be talking about? Elias Pettersson, maybe to the Carolina Hurricanes? Well, not anymore, but that really got everything started, a.k.a. Pettersson got scared that he may be moving to Connecticut, Kentucky, North Carolina, Arkansas, wherever Carolina is. Anyways, let's talk about it on today's episode of Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to this bonus episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs. I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle Bowen. Remember, if you haven't done so already, make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Canucks. It is your team. No scratch that, your Canucks every day. And man, oh man, just when we were a few hours after talking about the bizarre timeline of Elias Pettersson and, the contract negotiations, we went back to, 2020, 2021. And now arguably the most bizarre aspect of this entire story was just dropped moments ago. Elliot Friedman reporting that the Carolina Hurricanes and Vancouver Canucks got into serious trade discussions about Elias Pettersson, where they had to make, or Pettersson had to make some serious decisions about his future. And hey, shout out to the everydayers and shout out to myself. Kyle kind of cut me off when we talked about this a couple episodes ago, but I said, hey, if there's going to be a trade with Elias Pettersson, a team to watch out for would be the Carolina Hurricanes. And man, oh man, it's hard to believe we're here. But Kyle, I'll throw it to you. What were your first initial thoughts when you read this?
Well, I got to say this, I apologize to you because I should have gave you more of the limelight. We could have made that into a clip. We could have posted that. Boom, bam. Locked On Canucks would have been put on. Okay. We would have beat Elliot Friedman straight up. Now, I also want to say this. Okay. So yesterday when I was recording that reaction episode to Frank's tweet about Elias Pettersson possibly signing for 8 years, a lot of people are talking about the noise getting to him. And I was like, I don't know if he seems like a guy that's going to let the noise of the media and the fans get to him. It's going to be other things, right? Blah, blah, blah. And look what happened. It wasn't the noise. It was Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin telling him, like, yo, I got this great offer from the Carolina Hurricanes. We're considering it. What's the deal? What's the deal? That's what happened. It wasn't the fans. It wasn't the media. It wasn't Rick Dhaliwal. Okay, it wasn't Elliot Friedman. It wasn't Frank. I think it was Allvin and Rutherford putting an ultimatum right in front of Pettersson. And maybe that happened because it was somewhat of a, mind game that they want to play. Or maybe, just maybe, Carolina offered something that really made Vancouver think. Now, Trevor, I want to ask you this question. And JS wants to ask you this too, okay? Well, what do you think Carolina offered Vancouver for, again, one of the best players in hockey, Elias Pettersson?
Well, I'll bring up one thing first and foremost. I know I've read this from a couple people, but I'm going to bring up the tweet from someone I trust. It's our buddy Andrew Chelney, who said, quote, that he's confidently reporting that Martin Necas was a popular name in the trade conversations between the Vancouver Canucks and the Carolina Hurricanes. He said that Martin Necas and head coach Rob Brindamore obviously haven't always seen eye to eye. So, Martin Necas is a guy who, he's been listed as a center. He's played a lot of wing this year, but he's a talented young player. I believe he's actually the same age as Pettersson, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if another name in the trade conversations, the Carolina Hurricanes arguably have the best defense prospect or the best defenseman not in the NHL in Alexander Nikishkin, if I'm pronouncing that right. The dude's 22, 23 years old, 6'3", 215 pounds, over a point per game. Just an absolute stud of a defenseman over in the KHL. I wonder if the package kind of started there. And then I think there'd be some first round picks involved as well. Obviously, someone else reported that Kotkaniemi would have been involved. I think the Canucks were interested in Kotkaniemi at one point, but that's not a name that's not a name that is attractive to a lot of people.
Yeah,
but I would think maybe Nichushkin and maybe a couple first round picks would be what I think the package could have been for Elias Pettersson.
Oh man, come on, man. So I don't know, man. Do you think that was it that made Pettersson, Allvin and Rutherford, bring this scenario to Pettersson? Don't you think it would have been a Svechnikov or someone else? You know what I'm saying? Like someone elite, like their best player. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I
you
feel
gotta look at it from Carolina's point of view as well, right? Like, is Carolina they think really highly of Aho and Svechnikov, and maybe Svechnikov I could see, but like a
mhm.
Sebastian Aho,
No.
did they really
I don't
want
think
to
that's the
blow up the
case.
depth down the middle? I don't think it would have been Aho. Maybe Svechnikov,
And
maybe, but
Aho,
I would think of their team, it's like Slavin, Aho, and Svechnikov to me are probably the untouchables of Carolina, and everyone else would be on the table.
yeah, and like Aho, I don't know his point total this season or how he's playing, but he does have one of the friendliest contracts right now in the NHL. Straight up. You want to talk about value? He has that. And yeah, I would view him untouchable as well. Yeah, again, a part of me feels as if Rutherford and Allvin were willing to jeopardize, I wouldn't say the relationship between them and Pettersson, but force the issue, it would have been for Sveshnikov, IMO. I think Nacich, is that how you say it? He's a good player. I've seen him play. Very smart, very cerebral. Somebody that was also brought up in a lot of trade rumors when JT Miller was somewhat on the block. So, we're in the fold with that guy. But again, it would have had to been more. Elias Pettersson, come on, he's that guy. Now, Trevor, this is this is it. This is it. This is why I am so confident in everything Vancouver Canucks, because I feel as if Allvin and Rutherford specifically, are always thinking about what's next. What's next? They're cerebral. Okay, they're go-getters. They give me confidence. And again, I don't think it's mind games. I actually think this really, really, really did happen. But for them to be able to flip it and then accelerate the process to get Elias Pettersson back on the negotiation table, it just it just it's music to my ears. For real. It really is.
Yeah, and this is something that wasn't often discussed in the market. I think we've discussed the balls on Jim Rutherford and
Yeah.
Patrick Allvin. They are bold, brash people with a heavy set of balls. Like their balls, they're probably bigger than my biceps, man. It's not saying that much, but man, oh man. I mean, one of the things we haven't really discussed in this market is that Elias Pettersson has no trade protection.
Mhm.
And that is a tool that can be used, right? It's like, hey, you don't want to sign with us, you don't want to negotiate with us. Well, guess what? We could trade
Yeah.
you anywhere, including to one of the farthest places away from Vancouver, especially if he does love the city that much.
Mhm.
And man, oh man, like obviously Rutherford's been around in this game a long, long time.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just, we got to respect the big brass balls in him. Now, this isn't something new to the NHL. Guys playing hardball with their stars. We've
Mhm.
talked about on the show, the Sedins like went right after free agency without a contract themselves. My boss at Daily Hive, Rob Williams, he just posted an article and he brought up the Alex Burrows situation from 2009, and not quite as big of a social media era. So this came out a little bit afterwards, but for fans that don't remember, at the 2009 trade deadline, the Canucks basically said, "Sign with us, or we're going to trade you." And they had, I
Mhm.
believe, it was a first, a third, like a pretty good offer on the table for Alex Burrows, who
Damn.
wasn't on Elias Pettersson's level. And lo and
Yeah.
behold, Alex Burrows ended up signing again one of the craziest, most team-friendly contracts in maybe NHL
Yeah.
history. That deal is an absolute steal. So this does happen. This is out of the norm, but the fact that it involves a player of Elias Pettersson's magnitude, the fact
Dude.
that this guy's about to sign one of the biggest contracts in not just Canucks history, would be the biggest contract in Canucks history, but NHL history. I mean, there's a
Mhm.
ton of layers here that make this so fascinating, man.
And speaking of those layers, let's bring it up, man. I heard who was it? J Pat, the legend, okay? Jeff Patterson, the legend. He was talking about how, the Canucks are about to hit the road for a little bit, right? And doesn't it feel as if everything is lining up for the biggest press conference, well, one of them in Canucks history, to happen tomorrow, right after this Kings game? Straight up. Pettersson, is he signing tomorrow? I think so. And I think this was the last hammer. And ironically, who does it come with, okay? Pettersson's ex-friend, Elliot Friedman. Unreal, bro. Unreal. What a saga, okay? Honestly speaking, last episode, which came out a couple hours ago, okay? It's Locked On Canucks. We're talking to you every hour, okay? I said that, there's no way that Friedman and Pettersson are ever going to be friends again, okay? For real. The loyalty is lost. No more intimate boat rides, okay? Bro, Trevor, if you and I go on a boat ride and I tell you some dark secrets, dude, come on. Leave me alone. Protect my peace. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That being said, I would love to actually hear a conversation between those two on 32 Thoughts after this whole year is over, because it would be something else. It would be fascinating.
Yeah, it would be fascinating, man. I mean, yeah, I love to see the 30 for 30 on the downfall of Elias
Yeah.
Pettersson and Elliot Friedman's relationship. Maybe let's wrap up on the other side, talking about. I'm kind of curious about your thoughts on this. I kind of know what you're going to say, but
Mhm.
what does this mean for the long-term relationship between Elias Pettersson and the Vancouver Canucks? Would there be potentially any bad blood there? But let's touch on it on the other side. First, let's shout out our beloved sponsors, starting with Gametime. All right, you know me, Begsy. I'm cheap, but I'm a big last-minute deals guy, and I know that the best place for killer deals at the last minute is Gametime. You want to get those Canuck playoff tickets? Well, make sure you go to Gametime because they got a lowest price guarantee along with event protection cancellation. And, if you're not into the Canucks, you could go to, football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy theater, and more. Now, I have no choice but to get off my disgustingly hairy rear end and check out a Canucks game on a Saturday night. So make sure you snag the tickets without the stress with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Boom, bam.
It's past the halfway point of the season, and Canucks fans, get cheering for the best goddamn team in the NHL. If you want to be the best at something else, make sure you go play some daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper, the official daily fantasy app of the Locked On NHL Network. Sleeper is my number one choice for daily fantasy sports and especially daily fantasy hockey. Because with Sleeper, you can win 100 times your cash in daily fantasy hockey contests. All you have to do is pick whether studs like JT Miller, Brock Besser, or Quinn Hughes will record more or less than their Sleeper projections for things like goals, assists, saves, plus, minus, and more in a given game. To win a 100 times bet on Sleeper, you need to correctly predict the outcome of 8-player stats. You heard me, Canucks fans. You can win 100 times your money playing daily fantasy hockey with Sleeper. So start paying attention and nail your picks so you can start winning big. Use promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's code LOCKEDONNHL. See Sleeper's terms of use for details and locational availability.
Man, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight in Vancouver, all my real fans.
People, we're back doing this on Locked On Canucks, okay? Trevor Beggs, Kyle Bowen, okay? I'm pretty sure Trevor Beggs was supposed to pick up his daughter at daycare 20 minutes ago, but what happened? Elliot Friedman, okay? He's ruining not only the relationship between, he's not ruining it, but he's ramping it up, making us emotional, okay? Making all Vancouver Canucks fan emotional when it comes to Elias Pettersson, but also taking away some father-daughter time, man, for real. Straight up, man. But we got to do this, man. Locked On Canucks, okay? It's your team every day, your Canucks every day. And as Richard is saying, man, we're doing it, man. We're living the dream, dude. He's saying that we're becoming one of his favorite shows, okay? Right up there with Oprah. That's something else, man. Something else. Hey, speaking of Oprah, we're giving away things too, okay? Straight up. All you have to do is subscribe to the Discord. Link is in the bio. Let's talk about the Canucks 24/7. I can talk to you when I'm on the toilet. And if you do that, subscribe to the Discord. You qualify to win some tickets to some, I was going to say to some Canuck games. Hey, we might get there, but to a Canuck game, okay? March 25th against the Los Angeles Kings. We got 2 tickets for you. Subscribe to the Discord. Enter the contest. Boom, bam. The winner will be revealed on March the 22nd. We'll do it live too, okay? I'll figure out a way to do it live. A little raffle thing online. Boom, bam. Win yourself some tickets. Sign up to the Discord. And Trevor, okay? Richard just said what? One of the most positive shows on the air as well. What are you going to do, Mr. Dark Guy? For real. What are you going to say here? What do you want to ask me? Because I see it in your grin.
Well, I'm just looking at the Carolina Hurricanes on Cap Friendly. They got all their first round picks over the next 3 years. They even got an extra second round pick in there as well. They got the picks to make this deal done. But no, I just think at the end of the day, it's just a strong negotiating tactic. And I think I know what you're going to say. But do you think Rutherford and Allvin playing hardball will affect how Pettersson feels about his relationship with the Canucks long term?
No way, because it's business, baby. And also winning fixes everything. That's the truth. That's life, baby. Straight up. It doesn't always go perfect for you, but winning, it acts like a Band-Aid. All right? Makes it seem like the scenario is full of flowers. Winning fixes everything. And at the end of the day, the Vancouver Canucks are putting themselves in a position where culturally, they're going to be consistently winning games. This window is going to be open. I don't think he's going to be ultimately frustrated. And at the end of the day, Pettersson, you're one of the best players in hockey. Okay? You have no term left on your deal. You don't think other teams are going to call asking for you? Yeah, we brought this up the other day. Remember when Boston traded Joe Thornton to San Jose? And a lot of owners across the league were pissed off that their GMs didn't know that Joe Thornton was available. Okay, so anytime there's a star player with no years left on his deal, okay, and then he made it publicly clear that, oh, I'm not going to sign till the end of the season. Publicly cleared, okay? You talk to the biggest guy in hockey media. Dude, you're going to get phone calls around the deadline. So he can be a little frustrated that maybe Allvin and Rutherford now used this phone call from Don Waddell and this offer as a bit of leverage to get back into to the table and potentially sign a contract ASAP. But man, oh man, this is business, man. It's the NHL. Come on, man. Winning fixes everything, man. That guy's a competitor. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, if he signs tomorrow and there's a press conference tomorrow, it's pretty evident that this guy did not want to go play in Arkansas, Connecticut, North Carolina, Raleigh, wherever that is, okay?
Oh man, I think you need a geography lesson. Carolina's the state, Raleigh's in North Carolina. Just so you know, anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I feel the exact same way as you. Like, at the end of the day, it's business. One of the things I do think about is, it's easy to forget about this, but Pettersson's only 25 years old, right? Kyle, you and I are 30 years old. Can you imagine 5 years ago, we're being offered $100 million and trying to work through that negotiation? I know he pays an agent money for that, but he's still, like Rick Talkin said, a human at the end of the day. And different humans have different emotions. They react to things differently. And I just hope he's got some good people in his corner helping him out. It doesn't sound like he has the spouse or anything like that in his corner, but just hope he's got some good people behind him. And one left to pet. Yeah, he's got good news. Exactly. But one left to Elias Pettersson, man. Honestly, he's could end up as the greatest player in franchise history. He's going to become probably the highest paid player in franchise history. And let's hope he enjoys being here, loves being here, and helps his team win a Stanley Cup. And I see that all in his future, man, here with your Vancouver Canucks.
I do too. And I think maybe he would be a little frustrated that, quote unquote, things didn't go the way he planned. And I'm not talking about him eventually leaving the Canucks, but him wanting to just negotiate the contract at the end of the season, right? It's his right. That's what he wanted to do. Everyone believes in manifestation, right? He probably thought that was going to happen, but again, when you're talking to the biggest guy in media and hockey and you're one of the best players in the league, this was absolutely inevitable. And, we'll talk more about this tomorrow because I know there's going to be more news around this scenario because man, oh man, I can't believe the Canucks are actually doing this year. But look at this, okay? This comes from Taj on Twitter. He listens to the radio 24/7, but he's saying that Sat says that the Canucks are big game hunting on the trade market. They aren't scared to trade good assets, but it has to be more than a rental. We talked about it, right, on the last episode before Trevor had to run away. Jake Guentzel to the Vancouver Canucks, possibly going to happen. Jake Guentzel or Pavel Buchnevich to the Canucks, who knows? But those trades are a lot easier to make, especially if you're considering extending those players, if you know how much Pettersson is getting paid. A lot of things going on. The Vancouver Canucks, the sexiest team in the NHL, the most entertaining team in the NHL, and maybe in an alternate universe, right? Or maybe just in a scenario where Pettersson, after being told that Carolina is offering this for him, continues to be like, you know what? I still want to negotiate at the end of the year. Maybe Pettersson's a hurricane in a week, right? But thank the Lord, thank the hockey gods that Pettersson, I don't know if we got to say he came to his senses, but realizes that, it's not going to go my way. I can't just wait to the end of the season. Let's hammer this thing and get it done.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little push to get something done, and that might have been what happened in this scenario. But yeah, we will talk about Jake Guentzel and the potential for Canucks to make more moves on tomorrow's episode. It is some cap crunching as well to see, can they afford a Guentzel or a Lindholm or someone like that beyond this season. But that's for tomorrow's episode. So shout out to everyone, the everydayers, the occasional listeners, the first-time listeners, new subscribers, and those of you who join us on our live YouTube shows. We love each and every one of you, your families, your dogs as well. And you know what we say, love us or hate us, it's go Canucks, go, baby.
Straight up, go Canucks, go, one love. And Trevor, before you go out and do some research, I'm going to put a little prompt in your head so you're prepared tomorrow because I'm going to bring it up. If the Canucks are getting Jake Guentzel, do not be surprised. And this is going to be ironic because they might get Jake Guentzel after they sign Pettersson. But man, oh man, Niels Höglander may be going the other way. That's what I'm thinking, okay? Straight up. Anyways, Kyle Bound, Trevor Beggs, sign us out the right way. One love to the Locked On Podcast Network. One love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for supplying that West Coast bias for years and years and years and years, and even more tomorrows. Enjoy the game tonight. Again, contest. You want some free tickets to a Canuck game, March the 25th against the LA Kings? Join the Discord below, okay? Join the conversation. Get involved with the production. Boom, bam. We got you. Contest winner unveiled on March the 22nd live here on Locked On Canucks. Beggsy, what else do you got to say?
Nothing. Go Canucks, go. Let's have a win tonight, and let's see Elias Pettersson sign on the dotted line tomorrow morning, baby.
There you go, man. One love, man. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.
Man, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight in Vancouver, all my real fans.